I like to say earthlings because every being on this planet has a soul. It's not just that humans have the biggest and best soul so that they're rulers of the whole planet and therefore they can be the dominant ones and kill any of their fellow earthlings that they want. It's not like that. Mosquito's soul is equivalent to a human soul, which is equivalent to a grasshopper soul. The same energy. Kind of makes you want to go towards vegetarianism or veganism because you start to realize, like, oh, what am I eating? Uh-oh. And if one can't touch, if one can't, one's heart is not touched by that, then let's say if a person, I don't know, eats chicken or something, well, what if you had a pet as a chicken? I used to have a pet as a chicken when I was a kid. I loved that chicken. I would never think of it. Wouldn't want to eat a chicken after having a pet as a chicken. I love the chicken too much. It would seem like madness and cruelty, And it's funny because sometimes I've seen this video, this little child speaking about like not eating the chicken. It's like, why would anyone want to kill the little chicken? They're so sweet and harmless, and yet sadly somehow they become the victim because maybe they can't fly as fast as the other birds. How sad is that? We should have compassion for those chickens that can't fly fast to get away from predators. We should be protecting them rather than slaughtering them. Not only slaughtering them, but mass producing them. If you have ever seen one of those movies on how they make chickens and how and the eggs and all that stuff, it's brutal. You don't even want to see it. You'll never eat chicken again when you see how these beings are treated. And these are your fellow brothers and sisters who are on the same planet as you, trying to get by and survive just like we are. So, Lakshmi sees the beauty in all the birds. Seems like it's a bird theme today. Beauty in all the birds. And if you want to develop love for a particular animal, you go out and you observe their intelligence. You observe their instincts, their beautiful colors, their languaging, how they approach you. That's what St. Francis did. He simply said, forget this city life. I'm going out into nature, barefoot, no home, and I'm going to talk to the birds. So what did he do? He preached to the birds. Love Jesus Christ. Love your fellow birds. He talked to them. He became friends with them. That's why he's depicted with all the animals, the birds on him. They had no fear of him because they knew that he wouldn't kill them. A person who eats a lot of birds, the birds are probably going to be scared of that person because they might get killed. A person who genuinely loves birds, no fear. They come and prop right on you and build a nest on you. Such a different energy, such a different mentality, such a different heart. This is about heart, right? Lakshmi is about heart. Being kind to others and just opening your heart to all of creation, seeing that beauty. So goddess is a powerful concept. I love it so much. And, male bodies, female bodies, we can all embody the goddess. It doesn't just have to be females. It doesn't matter what gender. In previous lifetimes, you were many times male. This one you happen to get a female gender. So doesn't mean that your soul is female. Soul has no gender. Next lifetime, you might be male. Play a different role. So, and maybe in the next lifetime, maybe we get put into another situation. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of what I mean by learning in lifetimes about how to open the heart and compassion. This is this beautiful story of a guy who lived during the Middle Ages. He was one of the nobles, that ruled the land over the serfs. The serfs were pretty much slaves. People who know medieval history will know what I'm talking about. And maybe around the 1200s. And he kind of pushed his slaves, his serfs, to really work hard to milk the land so that he could gain wealth. And they were exhausted, and they were paid very little, and in a sense whipped. They were not treated well. So that when that noble died, he came back to life in his next lifetime as a donkey. Why do you think that is? A donkey in India, no less. And if you've been to India and you see how the donkeys, I was crying over the donkeys when I was in India as kids threw big stones at them. They would be pushed up the hill towards these holy places. And one, I was walking miles up to a holy place, and then I see the donkey prostrate on the ground, dead. No one stopping to see how it was. I knelt down and put my hand on it and prayed for the donkey. They're worked up and down the mountain, up and down the mountain. So here he was in India, in one of the major towns, and he was being whipped to carry, heavy rocks. I mean, if you've seen these donkeys, you'd be crying too. So, he's walking along carrying these heavy bricks, and the donkey literally has tears in his eyes, thinking to himself, what did I do to deserve this? I'm suffering so much. And then a great saint, a great sage, happened to be walking by that donkey and saw that he was crying. And the saint went up to the donkey and whispered in his ear, don't worry. In the next lifetime, you'll get a human life again, and you'll be able to be free of this. And then that donkey just wept for joy and relief that he would be out of that lifetime. But see, maybe he didn't know that his previous lifetime he had whipped the serfs in order to get them to do as much work as they could in order so that he could get some more money. He didn't remember, so how would he know why he would be in this situation of being as a donkey? So why did he incarnate as the donkey? To learn compassion, to open his heart,